Well, hello again, fancy meeting you here. So in this lecture, we are going to be setting up our Pixel. This is probably one of the more important lectures in this entire course, so don't skimp out on this one. First question is, of course, what is the Pixel and why is it so important? Let's dive in. So what is the Pixel? Well, to put it in a couple of few words, Pixel is your best friend when it comes to Facebook ads. Now, scrolling down, a pixel in its essence is just a piece of code, but what it can do for you is quite incredible. A piece of code for your website that lets you measure, optimize, and build audiences for your advertising campaigns. So there's a couple of things it does. Number one, it starts to measure and track all of your audiences, right? And that is pretty cool because whenever you have people entering your website, you want to know what they're doing on your website, you want to know who that person is, and by using Pixel, they can connect the traffic to your website to their actual Facebook account, and through that they can measure who this person is and find out what kind of people enjoys your website. So that means that the more people who visits your website, the more information the Pixel is getting, and the better the Pixel is going to be at targeting your ads towards your audience. So for example, remember when we set up this very specific ad, we targeted, I believe it was 470,000 people. So right now we don't have any Pixel, so basically our ad is just going to plow through those 470,000 people and then see, kind of throwing spaghetti on the wall, what sticks and what doesn't, and hope for the best. Right? It's still a targeted and good audience. But when you have gotten some traffic to your website, that pixel is going to understand, aha, out of those 470,000 people, we know what kind of person who enjoys this website. So we are going to specifically select those kind of people and target the ads towards those. And those might be a specific 100,000 people who first are going to get targeted by your ads, right? And that is pretty huge because that means that everything that you are releasing with your ad is going to be heavily optimized the more traffic you're getting to your website and the more data that the pixel can gather. So not only does it help you measure by understanding your customers' behavior on your website, it's also going to help you optimize by actually helping you target your ads towards that audience. And then also, this is the piece of tool that is going to allow us to build audiences. We haven't gone through audiences yet. We will go through audiences later on in the course. But basically, when you have a bunch of people who enter your website, we want to be able to take all of those people who have been on our website and then target them specifically for our ads. That is pretty cool, right? The only way to do that is by using a pixel so that the pixel can gather the information and save down who visited your website. So as you can tell, for just a small piece of code, your pixel is going to be your very best friend when it comes to Facebook ads. So this website you don't need to do anything about. The only reason it's up here is because I think they put it quite well, and that means that I don't have to do a PowerPoint for you to get my point across. So we're gonna learn how to install the Facebook pixel. The pixel is also something that we need in order to later on do remarketing. If you don't know what remarketing is, don't worry about it, you will learn later. Just know that we need a pixel for it, and the pixel is good stuff. Don't skimp out on this. So let's head back. So we are in our ad right now at the ad design level, and we are at the very end. We're basically ready to release this, but we want to do our tracking, right? That's what we're talking about. We want to track our audience. And there are three options. There's the Facebook pixel, app events, and offline events. These are all for events. So we don't have an app, we're not going to use that, and we are not going to be doing anything offline because that means we have to add in things manually. The only tracking we're interested in is the Facebook pixel, and the pixel will track everything for us. So what I'm going to do is, and I want you to follow me on the screen here as well so we can set it up together, is I'm going to click on Set Up right there. And the first thing I'm going to do is give the pixel a name. And now it doesn't have to be my name and my pixel. I'm going to call it RNJ Deals Pixel. So this is going to make more sense when you have more website, more pixels, and especially if you're working on as an agency and you're helping clients, you kind of want to know which pixel is going where, right? So create a pixel name that makes sense, but also understand that you only need one pixel for a website because it covers the entire website. and then I'm gonna fetch the URL. All right, so because there are a couple of different ways to install the Pixel, depending on if you're using a Shopify, depending on if you're using a website, or if you're using WooCommerce, or whatever it is that you're using, I'm kind of gonna show you a little bit on how to actually install it on the most popular ones, right? So you know that we are selling our couples bracelets on the rnjdeals.com, and that is a Shopify. However, because it is so easy to install it on Shopify, I'm also going to show you how to install it on a normal website just like this one. So what I'm gonna do for this example is that I am going to take this URL, I'm going to copy it, you do the same, you copy your URL, I'm gonna head back and I'm going to enter in that URL in here. All right, so we're also going to be setting it up for this website, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Of course, I can only set up one, but it is so easy to set up, so I can show you on multiple platforms. And once we've done that, we have the name and then we have the website, just copy paste, then we click on continue. So now we're actually gonna set up the Pixel. So either I can continue what I was doing and then set up the Pixel later, or I can set up the Pixel now. And this lecture exists because we're gonna set up the Pixel now. So I'm gonna click on set up the Pixel now, right there. And now there are a couple of different ways in order to set it up. Number one, we can add a code using partner integration. This is the easiest way to set up the Pixel, because basically all of these different platforms such as Shopify, such as WordPress and WooCommerce, they help you out, right? They already have programs dedicated to this. It's super easy. Then you can also do it manually by getting a piece of code and adding that code manually on the website. In the past, this was the only way to do it, but if you're slightly tech savvy, there's a problem with this, because if you add a code manually, you're usually gonna need to add it to the header. And that is on a website, this would be the header, right? So you add the code in for this header in the back end of your website. But if your theme updates or if your header updates, that code can sometimes disappear, and that's a problem. And that is why I recommend that you don't manually add Pixel code to your website. Rather, use a partner integration, which is super fast and super easy. I strongly recommend that. You can also email instructions to a developer, which is just writing in someone's email and let them do it. But you don't need to do that. This is super simple. Click on add code using a partner integration. And now this is where it gets interesting, because we have so many different partners to choose from, and whichever you choose to click on, you're gonna get a tutorial for it, and it is so easy to set it up, right? So you don't have to worry about anything here. If I'm not showing you your specific partner here, your specific platform, don't panic, because they're all super simple. This used to be a pain, it's not anymore, right? So I'm gonna start out with Shopify because that's super easy. So I'm just gonna click on Shopify. And then I'm gonna just go through these settings. So first up, we have automatic advanced matching. And that just means that the Pixel is gonna gather more information, such as, if there's the email, if you've saved it on your website, the Pixel is gonna fetch that, etc. And the more information the Pixel can get, the better your ads are gonna be. So absolutely, we're gonna allow advanced matching. And then I'm gonna click on continue. And now we're going to be getting a tutorial and exactly where to go step by step. Now you're gonna want to follow this, but I'm just gonna click continue because this is so easy. So I'm just gonna show you exactly how this works quickly. So we get a Pixel ID, right? So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this Pixel ID, right click, I'm going to copy it, and check this out. So this is the back end of the store, right? This website is just the back end of that Shopify. I'm going to click on online store right here, and then I'm gonna go down and click on preferences right here. And check this out, I'm just going to scroll down, here it says Facebook Pixel, I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna click on paste, and then I'm gonna click save, and we are done. Ridiculously easy. Thank you Shopify, and thank you Facebook for making this process so easy. So then I would click save, and then we would be all done. Now I'm not gonna do this because we're not gonna set up the Pixel for this site, simply because this is so easy to do. I wanna show you how it works on a WordPress website. Also very easy, but slightly different, right? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to go back here, I'm gonna click on back, I'm gonna click on back again, and back again. So here we are, and now what I wanna do is that I wanna scroll down and I want to find WordPress, and there it is. So understand that if you have WooCommerce, if you know what WooCommerce is, well then WooCommerce and WordPress, they pretty much work the same when it comes to the install. It's a plugin that you install. The difference is that with WooCommerce, you also get to upload all of the different products that is on your site directly to your Facebook account. We're gonna do that later on in the course anyway, but if you do have a WooCommerce installed already, I strongly recommend that you use this, and then you're gonna be slightly ahead. You still get the pixel and all that good stuff, but if you have a WooCommerce, you get some added benefits to it. So then choose WooCommerce. I'm gonna choose WordPress because most of you probably are using WordPress. So we're gonna click there. And the first thing we have here is advanced matching. And remember, if you have any form of information on your website, is that okay for Pixel to match that information with the information on your website and kind of find audiences and then track people that way? If you're okay with that, then select this one, and I strongly recommend you do. Now this one, the measure more of your customer's journey by enabling the conversion API, that's basically if you have a physical location, you're getting information there, well then you can upload it to a server and then have all of that information directly added to the Pixel. We're not gonna play around with that right now. I don't think we need it unless you have like a call center or something. We're gathering information. So we're gonna click on continue. So now you might notice that the background on my screen is a little bit different than yours. And that is because when I got to this second point, download plugin, there was no download button. So if you're experiencing the very same thing as I did, that you cannot find a download button here, and that is because I was using a pop-up blocker. So if you are as well, then just, if you're using Brave, click on this icon and then shields down for this site, right? And if you're using any other form of pop-up blocker, then simply turn that off and reload your site. Unfortunately, reloading your site, you're not gonna be able to continue setting it up. So all you need to do by then is click on here and go to Events Manager, and then you're gonna come to this screen, and then you click on Continue Pixel Setup, use a partner, go down, click on WordPress, Advanced Matching, and you're gonna be right back here. Don't worry about your ad, it's saved, and we're just gonna continue from where we just were. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. But if you have this download here, then we can just continue on. So all we're gonna do is click on Download, and then simply click on Save. And now we're gonna continue. So we click on Continue, and we are going to go to Plugins and click on Add New, right? So I'm just gonna do that on our website, this website, and the backend for that looks like this. So I'm gonna go to Plugins, I'm gonna click on Add New, and then I'm going to head back while it loads, and I'm gonna click on Continue. And now all we're going to do is upload that very thing that we downloaded, right? So going back here, I'm gonna click on Upload Plugin up here, and now I'm gonna grab this file and just let it go right here. And then I'm gonna click on Install Now. So once it's installed, I'm just gonna click on Activate Plugin, and that's it. Now the plugin is activated. We don't need to do anything else, right? So I'm just gonna head back, all right, back here, and I'm going to click on Continue, and then I'm gonna click on Continue again because we already activated it, right? As you can see, the guide here is absolutely perfect. And then I'm gonna click on Continue again because the Pixel ID, all of that stuff that we actually need is already in there, right? It's been auto-added for us downloading it. So what we're gonna do now is send some test traffic to our website just to see that the Pixel is firing, that the Pixel is working. You're gonna have to do the very same thing if you're setting it up on Shopify or if you're setting it up on WooCommerce as well. So I'm just going to write www.robinandjesper.com, and I'm going to click on Send Test Traffic. So now when we clicked on Send Traffic, we're taken to this site, right? And it's very, very important that you put the shields down for this site as well. If you're using any form of ad blocker, the Pixel will not fire, it will not work. So if it does not fire, then simply click back here and then you send the traffic once again, but this time having put the shields down, right? So now we can see it's active, last received, last hour. It's working, it's set up, it's perfect. So it is that easy, right? So we're gonna click on Continue. And then it also says add events using event setup tool. And we're going to be playing around with setting up events and those things later on. So we are for now just going to click on Continue. And then we are going to click on Close because now we've already set everything up. In order to test the events, we actually have to set up events, and we are going to do that later on, not now, right? So that means, for example, if we want to track an event such as a purchase, we need to set up and track that event very specifically so we can give that event a value, etc., etc. More on that later on. So we're just gonna close this for now, and if you are, if nothing changed, you had no ad blocker or anything, you are still going to be at the ad. If you are here with me and you want to return to the ad that we have been creating, then it's super simple. Then all you need to do is click up here at Business Tools. We're going to click on Ads Manager, and then we're going to click on the plus here, Create. And then thankfully, Facebook is going to say, hey, here's where you left off. Do you want to continue? Yes, we most definitely do want to continue. And then scrolling down, we should now see that this one is green and all is well in the world. Our pixel is working, our pixel is tracking, all is good. Now there's only one more thing to do before we actually release this ad. Exciting, right? And we're gonna go through that in the next lecture. Great work setting up your pixel. See you in the next lecture.